Shout
I
out to
can't
our
wait.
sponsor of today.
Mhm.
Today's sponsor is brought to you by TB3 Hookah. You see me smoking on the hookah. That's thank you to our supplier, Jersey's #1 online hookah retailer. With their vast variety of flavors, coals, and hookahs, and so much more, they make the priority to satisfy all of your hookah essentials. Enjoy all of your favorite products in no time with their fast, easy shipping. Here at TB3 Hookah, you are a priority. Use this code TRUST to save 10% on your next TB3 hookah order. Again, that's TRUST for 10% off your order. Now in Jersey, especially if you're in South Jersey, this is your guy to use. I would say when I deal with prices down here, you always deal with the upkeep of we don't play up north prices. Up north prices are always better than South Jersey prices. So if you're looking for a amazing retailer, he has all the products, and if he doesn't, you can easily DM him and he can get that for you. Any of your needs. So please, again, use code TRUST for 10% off. The website is below, but if you're listening, it is www.tb3hookah.com. www.tb3hookah.com. Use code TRUST for 10% off.
Beaming right now. This overhead light is fucking me up.
Yeah.
Hey, man. I feel like it's been a while. Why do I feel like it's been so long since we last recorded? When was the last time we recorded?
A ton has happened. I think we recorded last week. Well, we recorded early last week, if you remember. We both had off.
Monday.
So, yeah.
This is very
true. So it's been a little
true.
longer than normal, but, I mean, so much shit has happened. We're into a new year. It's been a crazy week.
Hey, man, are you a New Year's resolution guy?
I'm not.
No?
I think you can try to change yourself, any time of the year.
Any time of the year.
So the only thing that pisses me off now is when I'm starting to go in the gym, I better not see that gym fill up with a bunch of people that are being there with a month or two and then get out, man.
Dog, you already know the type of guy I'm. Every time you talk to me, I'm in the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm always in the gym. And actually, last night I didn't experience it. I got there 7:30. Because Kat was like, "There's no one in the gym. Like, there's like 3 guys." I always tell her if she goes first to like yoga, I'm like, "Let me know. Look over at the dumbbells, and if at the dumbbells you don't see a lot of people, it's good to go." I get there, there's no room.
There's no room.
There's no room. Like I was down by the 15, the 5s and 10s, carrying over the 90-pound dumbbells all the way there. And finally a girl got up and was like, once I got to 130, she got up and left. And I was like, "Are you leaving?" She was doing overhead extensions with 15 pounds. And I'm just like, gym etiquette, man.
Well, again, it's, a lot of these people, I'm telling you, man, it's every year. The gym's got the specials. And like you said, New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
But what about you? Are you a resolution guy? Are you going to change anything up?
I'm not a resolution guy. I'm definitely tweaking some things of what I want to look for. And I was actually talking to Kat about this. So Kat is actually about to go through yoga training to get yoga teacher certified, like starting in February. So she's going down a whole path of her own shit. But in regards to me, is I think 2020 from 2019 through to like 2022, I was pretty much getting to the gym habit, learning how to work out the right way, kind of going crazy and pushing my body to its limits. But this year, I really want to focus on the way I eat. How much do I eat? What am I eating correctly? And focusing on on that. And I think that's my only goal for this year is that. And then, of course, podcast stuff. I'm gonna speak into existence. I'm looking to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year and somehow find a way to make at least $10,000 off of this year. So we'll figure it out. That's the goals for this year. But in somber news, actually last night while I was sitting at the gym, you texted me and I was watching this Bills versus it was Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay, Bills versus Cincinnati game. And you text me, "Yo, are you watching this game?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like I see, like it's been in timeout for a while, and I was in between sets, so I noticed. I'm like, "Yo, it's been in between timeouts." So like, "Yo, this hit," and you were trying to send it to me, and you could see that Twitter was trying to get this hit down. Damar Hamlin. All prayers. Hopefully, this is a good story at the end of the line, like a Ryan Shazier type of moment where he's able to battle back. Hopefully, gets back in the league. But I hope to see something good come of this. It's definitely, as someone that's played football, I think I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 people in my life that have been carted off the field from an ambulance, and that in itself is terrifying. You're like, fuck, it stops the game, it stops all momentum and that thing. And I think with that hit, it was surprising to see. What were your thoughts? You were watching it live?
No, so kind of a similar situation. I just got back from the gym, and my girlfriend's mom called her and was like, "Are you guys watching Monday Night Football?" We weren't. So again, like I said, we just got back, like dropped our stuff, turned the TV on, and there you see everything going on. So I was, going through Twitter, seeing what happened. You're right. I mean, it definitely didn't seem like the hit was anything crazy. He stood up and then fell back down, which is frightening. Yeah. Like you said, man, all prayers to him and his family. I hope by the time this comes out, we record here on Tuesday. I hope by the time this even comes out, like we have good news. And
yeah,
it was, unfortunately with the NFL now and just football in general, I feel like we've almost gotten used to these, head injuries, or like you said, like we've even seen times where ambulances are coming off the field, but we're, again, for lack of a better term, used to guys going unconscious and guys battling back from that shit. So when it first happened, your first reaction is, oh shit, always, and go help them out. But somebody made a great point, and even as I'm watching everything progress and watching everything back, like the reaction that the players had, that the training staff had, that the medical personnel had, like you knew instantly this was a different reaction. And it's just one of those tragedies that we've never seen before. But yeah, man, I hope he's a 24-year-old kid, living his dream, balling out, and next thing you know, I mean, his life can be taken away from him. And
that's what was scary. It was so scary to see that, because in these instances, like we see like things going down with Tua, to where we see the head injuries and him just going, and it's different. Like you can see the difference in someone, the way they fall, and that's where I knew right away that it wasn't a head injury, because of the way he just fell back. Like it was immediate. Usually when it's head, you see a stumble or they just stay there. But the fact that he popped up and just fell down the way he did, it was like, fuck, man. And I definitely want to say that no matter what, as we go through these lessons, and this is a crisis management situation that the NFL has to learn from. And I remember I actually took a course in grad school called crisis management. And it was about higher ed issues when you deal with crises that happen on campus. And we talked about how did the entity, the institution, how did they react to this crisis, and what they did wrong, what was the positive coming from about it. And I think this is a lesson for the NFL to learn from, to know that, they still try to make the players go back after 5 minutes of play. And all hats off to the head coaches of both teams, in particular the Bengals head coach, who was like, fuck this, man. Let's take it into the thing. And they were in the tunnel talking. But you could see it on the face. Imagine seeing your teammate, seeing a brother having to get CPR done to him on the field. You can't play after that, man. And we want to say they're warriors. We want to say, you'll die for this game. But at the end of the day, we have to know, like, this is the game. So
exactly,
I think that's what they realized.
Yeah. No, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. I think, honestly, obviously the NFL did what they needed to do. Why it took so long, we will never know.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of things that go into it that we don't know, but for me personally, man, like fucking end it there, figure out the rest. And again, like this, like I said, the game comes second. What comes first is the life of this guy. And you just said it, like we both been playing sports, watching our entire lives. Like those are your brothers on the field.
Yeah.
And, like to see that happen, like you saw, man, these guys are bawling their eyes out on the field, like fucking getting down, praying, closing their eyes, like hoping. Like there's no way, man, you can even think about playing a football game. So again, I don't know what happened behind the scenes. If they did try to make them warm up and play, fuck them. The NFL preaches, player safety and health. Again, man, like if that is the case, you didn't show it there, but you needed to postpone this game. Again, and Noah comes second. So there still hasn't really been a word on when and if this game even gets played. Again, doesn't even matter right now, but it's just, I mean, you definitely need to do that. And like you said, hats off to the coaches, because if they didn't step up and say something, who's to say the NFL wouldn't be like, all right, let's get back on the field and go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that it was dope to see that, that again, those coaches stepped in. I think we have to give the dummy award to Skip Bayless. And I think this is going to be his nail in the coffin. I think that I think I saw today a post on Instagram that Shannon Sharp didn't come to the show today, and which is like, okay, Shannon Sharp, like, all right, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, how many chances are we going to give Skip Bayless to allow himself to keep getting bailed out? And I think what we're talking about is his quote. I have it here. So his quote, which he tweeted pretty much during this time, was, "No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems irrelevant." Now, there's two ways you could take this. Again, I think how everyone took it was, "Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Like, who gives a fuck right now?" And I think when I'm going to be the devil, to the alternate perspective, right? How he was looking on this, I think he was truly questioning, what the fuck? What is like? What now? I think is what he was doing. It just wrong time at the wrong place. You just didn't need to say that. We are all thinking that, but we don't give a fuck. And I think that's where the pushback is coming from.
I agree with you. And I knew we were going to talk about this, and was going to play the devil's advocate with you as well. And what you just said, like, yes, no, that should never have been said. You're right.
Yeah.
We were all thinking it, but again, we know, like, this dude's fucking, is he going to live or die comes first. You can interpret it in a way that, like the end of that last sentence you read was, which is irrelevant. Like, that, you're right, and that is. But man, it's just, again, it's who it came from.
Exactly.
Like, he's continuously showed who he is and how he even looks at these athletes. So, like, again, if this was somebody else, it probably would have gotten backlash, but not the backlash that it received because it's Skip Bayless, because of the track record he has. I don't know. I don't know. I was very interested to see how Shannon Sharp reacted to that. Hopefully he's back on the show tomorrow. Hopefully he's all good, and whatever, why he missed today or for whatever reason, we can't. We can speculate all we want, but I mean, it's Skip Bayless, man. You just can't. You cannot say that. Like you said, Malik, we're all thinking it. Just have the wherewithal to not right now. Not right now. In 2 or 3 days, again, God willing, like he's okay, then we can start having that discussion. But right now, in that moment, there's no chance. There's no chance you should be worried about that.
How about this? Exactly what I said. This is what I said earlier on. This is a time for the NFL to learn its crisis management. I wonder what the NFL is going to do in this case. Are they going to stop the play? Are they going to schedule this for another time? Or are they just going to avoid this as it's being a crucial part of the season? I wonder what's going to happen. Simple as that. Because but the thing is, he just doesn't say anything about the situation that happened. He's more concerned. All his sentences is about the game, this season, the magnitude of this crucial matter of this game. Like, it was nothing mentioned about someone's possibly dead on the field. Like, that's the problem.
Exactly. Again, like, this wasn't a weather delay. Like, this wasn't anything that can be resolved, or like again, it's just such a different situation, man. It's unfortunate. It really is.
Man, all praise up. I can't wait till I'm praying I get good news. We all get good news from the situation.
For sure.
But let's take it back now. We got to take it back to New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, whatever you want to call it. I would say, and you could say I'm being extra, but I think that the only way that I have a heartbreak bigger than this is if my girlfriend cheats on me and gets pregnant. That's the only way that I have a heartbreak this big going into the new year. That's the only way this new year is fucked like that. And I mean fucked, bro. I mean, going into this, what am I talking about? Ohio State losing to Georgia 41-42.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we could spend a lot of time on this game because it's these two games, right? The Michigan TCU game, Ohio State Georgia game as well. But as a Buckeye fan, I'm going to take it as, I'm going to speak up as this, like a fan that's fucking hurt, and I'm not going to be politically correct in any event right? Yeah. So going to this game, we had the best possibilities of beforehand. We watched Michigan go down. At the end of the day, it's similar to when you see the Cowboys and Eagles. When I see the Eagles play at 4, and I know the Cowboys are playing later, see the Eagles lose, I'm like, all right, fuck it. The Eagles lost as well, so if we lose, it's not as bad. I knew with Michigan going down, two things went through my head. A, fuck Michigan. They fucking suck. We showed them who they. I told you when it comes to big time games, they wouldn't win it. They're not that all, and that quarterback is the reason why.
Yeah.
Second is holy fuck. If we beat Georgia, crown us now. And I'm gonna speak for. I don't give a fuck. Crown us now, because I don't. Whoever wins out of, and you said it weeks ago. Whoever wins out of Georgia and Ohio State is winning the chip, regardless of who won. And now that TCU pulled off a W versus Michigan. They have all the hype they want. Ain't no way they're beating whoever just won that game. That's a dogfight. So going to the game, I was fucking hyped. I was ready. Come out. I'm watching Ohio State be Ohio State. I'm watching Ryan Day be the coach we always wanted Ryan Day to be. He's hyped up. He's game planning. His fucking play calling is amazing. We're up on Georgia. Georgia hasn't been in that situation all year long. What could I ask for? Going into halftime, just finish the fucking game. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll let you step in before I get, or do you want me to keep going?
No, this is all you.
Okay. So I then reached, I knew there's no way that we were going to just be 2 scores away from Georgia. We have a chance. In all the games you've watched, I think the crucial part of the game was going in before halftime, I believe it was. 4th and 1. 4th and 1, we go for a fake punt. And Georgia calls timeout and calls it, right?
Greatest timeout ever.
Great. They're changing because of it, right? You have to admit it, right? But when you look at the statue of Ryan Day has made these decisions that have affected the game. He did the same thing in Michigan, where he didn't go for it on 4th and 3, and we decided to punt it, and now that allowed them to take over the game, and we never recovered from that. 4th and 1, he went for it. Gutsy call. Easily would have picked up the first down and some. Different game. 100% a different game that would have been. Georgia sniffs it out, calls timeout. We punt. Fuck it. It's 4th and 1.
Yeah.
If Stroud can't get that one in this game, and we're up. No matter what, we're up. We're going to punt it. We're up. Fucking go for it, bro. This is where Ryan Day has made decisions that have affected the season because he decided to be soft in those scenarios. You think Georgia would have punted it? Fuck no, even being down. You could flop the situation. Georgia's going for it. Georgia's like, no matter what, this is ball versus ball. This is up front versus up front. Then we get into the meat of it. I knew there was no way we were going to pull away from Georgia. I was surprised we were that far away from them in the first quarter. I think that surprised everyone. You know, my dad, I have to call my dad back. He owes me a dinner. My dad was telling me, we're going to lose by 24 easy. I took that bet. I said, you're wild on that one. You think that's happening just because of what Michigan did. You're crazy. Looking at that second half team, I knew no matter what, Stroud's draft pick went up exponentially because of what he performed on that game. Mind you, and I'm not this guy who brings excuses of injuries. Mind you, we were down 2 running backs. We're on a 3rd string running back. Our starting tight end was out. Then we have a bullshit call on Mara Harrison Jr. for a hit to the head that was turned over. That would have led us then to go down and most likely score. Mara Harrison is then out for the rest of the game.
I even think if that was, I think you get the first down. It was already that was on the 3rd and 4th and goal. And goal. So it would have been 1st and goal from the 5.
Exactly.
Definitely would have punched it in.
Punched it in, right? Now Mara Harrison Jr. is out. Now we're down to it's Stroud. It's all on you, baby. That's all it is. It's all on you. In this game, there's 2 winners in my eyes. When I could pick apart Ohio State winning, two of the winnings are Ohio State defense and CJ Stroud. That's it to me. The fact that Ohio State, I don't give a fuck. You could say, wow, they let Georgia put up 42, but they stopped Georgia in so many occasions to allow us to go up on Georgia. Amazing defense. They played it to the best ability. I'm proud of the defense more than anything now. Here's where shit goes wrong. Clock is it's 11:50. I'm watching the clock. I'm hearing everyone drunk. I'm at someone's house. I'm watching it on the TV. One TV in this house. It's 11:50 New Year's Eve. I'm all right. Georgia players start cramping. They start going down. It was bang, bang, timeout. And I'm like, holy fuck, this shit has to pick up. The last play I saw was CJ Stroud run and get us in field goal range.
That's the same thing as me.
Fucking hell, man. Everyone comes in running. Change the channel. We do the countdown.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck the countdown. The countdown every year.
It was up to, I think it was like 58 on the clock.
Yes.
And the same thing here. Like I was just watching at my place, a couple friends over, and we were like, okay, it's 2 minutes until the fucking ball drops. Like, can we change this? And I was like, all right, I guess.
I couldn't get on my phone. It wouldn't go.
It was literally Happy New Year, and my buddy goes, they missed the field goal.
Dog. You want to talk about heartbreak? I didn't watch it. I couldn't. I was on. So I tried to use my apps. Nothing was fucking working. I think it was too many people on the Wi-Fi. Nothing was working. Nothing was working. Was down. So I'm on Google, and you know how Google has like the live, like it's showing you the balls on that. So I'm watching it. I see the clock hit 0. The score the same, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I switch the channel. Replay. I see old ass 35-year-old, wherever the fuck he is, a quarterback for Georgia, running around going crazy. I'm like, "What the fuck happened?" If it's a block, if something happened, I'll take that. The fact I should have wrote this fucking kicker's name down. And Cat got very angry at me because I called for his head. I said he deserves to be shot in the fucking face. He shouldn't make it back to Ohio. They should not let him get on the fucking bus. Again, in any other situation, Liam, you've always heard me say it's not one play that loses you the game. It's a bunch of plays that lose you the game. And I just went through a bunch of different calls that could have been had to say the game is differently, whatever like that. At the end of the day, you are on a scholarship. You're getting a free, you're getting an education to make that fucking kick. Yep. All year, you've been perfect, bro. Perfect. He's been perfect all year. You have one job. Make the fucking kick. In my eyes, he had to have been paid off. There's no way. It wasn't even close. You're telling me you don't have no ice in your veins? You don't have no ice in your veins to even get it close. You just said, fuck it. I'm a bitch. I'm a pussy. I'm kicking this with my eyes closed. That's what the fuck he did.
I said, when I first saw the replay, I said to myself, if they were to take the field goal post and make a duplicate to the left, he still would have missed.
It, yes.
He would have missed 2 field goal posts.
Oh, my God. You want to talk about being pissed? I don't even know if I kissed my girl.
No.
I'm being honest with you. I kissed Cat Rope. I go back, and I was livid, bro. I'm going to be honest. I was so fucking angry at the fact because I knew what the story was ahead of us. We made that field goal. The national championship is ours. And again, I can't say that confident 100%, but it's ours. Like,
they definitely would have been favorites.
100%. Who's stopping Mario Harrison Jr. coming back? To be honest with you, he looked good on the sideline. To be honest, that's Tua. That's Tua's bullshit that affects college football now, that they're afraid of, like, fuck, we can't send him back out. We can't say, because he was on the sideline like, I'm good, guys. Like, I'm fucking good. He was on the sideline walking like, he was like, I'm good. They're just not clearing me.
Yeah.
It fucked us. It fucked us, man.
I know. I mean, I feel for you. I do.
I had no one else to root for the rest of the year. That's what Cat doesn't understand. Cat's like, you can't be so angry. I'm like, no, I have nothing else for 365. You don't understand what goes into Ohio State making it. You listen to this picture. We had to have Kansas State and Utah. We had to have all these teams lose, win, lose.
Yeah.
Get us in that picture.
True.
To now we're there. And again, I'll still say to this day, it should have been Ohio State and Michigan. We should have been ranked under TCU. But I mean, hey, TCU beat Michigan. But at the end of the day, I still think the regulars should have been different. But besides the point, it's like there's so much that went in our favor to get us there. Losing to Michigan and still being there. We need a Utah. I forget who to beat. We need all these USC. Exactly. We need all these teams to lose. We get there and you can't finish it out. Stroud's gone. The team not the same no more. It's like Ryan Day. And the only thing I can say that's positive out of this, Jim Harbaugh might be going back to the NFL. That means fucking commits are leaving.
Yeah.
That's all that means for us. Commits are leaving, and now Michigan's not going to look like the powerhouse anymore. Because if Michigan go down and they beat TCU, and now it's Michigan versus Georgia, no matter what, the recruits are staying. No matter what, they were just in a national championship. Regardless if they lose. The way they went out now versus TCU, raised some hairs now. I might leave. I might come back to the O.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
It's as a college football fan, this was by far and wide the best college football playoff we've ever seen. You always have that one game that's a blowout. Normally, it's Alabama and fucking Oklahoma, or last year I think it was Alabama Cincinnati. Like, you always have one that's never close. I'll touch on the Michigan TCU game real quick first.
But you have to say, as a fan, if you just being a fan of no teams, that's great football to watch.
Exactly.
When you're a fan of a team,
everything I wanted. Yeah.
I was dying the entire time.
Yeah. I can't imagine being in your shoes.
So my question for you is next year the bigger bracket?
Let me see if I can find it. I want to say yeah.
If so, this just shows you what that bracket will be and what can come of it. Because this just shows you, man, TCU beat Michigan. Who would have fucking thought?
So the 2024 season. So we have one more season with just the 4, and then it'll go to 12. But yeah, I mean, the Michigan TCU game was fun as shit. I think anything that proved was TCU did belong in that college football playoff because a lot of things were said. Should Alabama have gotten in? Again, they lost their conference championship game. Like, the conversations rattle, but they fucking proved that they're tough as shit.
Yeah.
That quarterback, I know we touched on before, but the dude's a dog, man. I don't know what he's going to be in the NFL, but to get a TCU team that was unranked coming into the season with a brand new head coach into the national championship, like, fucking hats off to you, man. You can lose by 50 and still, like, credit to you.
To the head coach, I give him a lot of credit.
And I give the head coach a ton of credit.
First year.
Completely turning that program around. It was never a bad one, but never a national championship contender like this.
100%.
And I guess as for Georgia and Ohio State, like you just said, I mean, we were saying I felt like the winner was going to come out of that game. It was a lot closer. I know we called each other a couple hours before the game, and I was like, I'm starting to think that Georgia might put a fucking hammer down on them. And never did. Never did. They made them uncomfortable. They looked fine. And that was a really fucking exciting game. I still can't believe he missed the field goal. I think in the championship game, it's probably going to be Georgia. I would think that it's close after watching TCU. I would think that they're going to, keep it relatively close on them. But again, for me, it was a fun weekend to watch. But I can't imagine the heartbreak.
I actually don't think that Georgia TCU is as close as Ohio State was. And for the simple fact that Ohio State was able to hold the top defensive lineman to maybe a tackle for Georgia, I think, and that was amazing to me. And I told you I was fearful of that defensive line. I was fearful for what could our defense hold on that Georgia team. And to be honest with you, Ohio State defense, I hope we have a lot of guys returning because holy shit. You want to talk about, that's his name, Stedman, right? The quarterback for Georgia?
Yeah, Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett was fucking pressured the whole game in my eyes. That just showed you, and I'm going to say this right now, when you look at those 4 teams, who has a quarterback that you think is going to transition into an NFL quarterback?
I mean, well, that was another point I was going to make. The winners of that day, I think, to me, were the top 2 quarterback prospects. It was Bryce Young, who we saw earlier Saturday, and then it was C.J. Stroud. Like, those to me, like we've been talking about, who's going number 1, who's going number 1. I would lean Bryce Young right now.
I agree.
But both of them really proved that, again, we never really know.
Yeah.
But in the biggest of moments, like in their bowl games, like they both fucking thrived. Good for
Bryce,
them. I'm excited
to see. If you watched that bowl game, Bryce Young made some throws that I couldn't believe. I mean, corner. Like, you know how they have, like, the quarterbacks do drills where they throw to a basket in the back corner? Yeah. That's where he was throwing it.
Money. And I mean,
whoever gets him.
He had something to prove. Alabama certainly had something to prove. You can fucking 100%. Tell they were playing. They were playing tough ball.
Yeah.
But yeah,
who has the number 1 draft pick?
It'll probably be the Texans.
Fuck.
So I think right now, and this is what's going to be interesting. So I think right now the Texans, if they lose this weekend, they will clinch the top seed. But then I believe, as of now, I'm bringing it up, that the Bears will have the number 2 draft pick, not seed, the draft pick. I think the Bears had the 2nd, which they don't need a quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see, does anybody trade up? And then I think you have the Cardinals and the Broncos, which the Cardinals, do they need a quarterback? Will the Broncos take anybody? And then the Colts and the Rams. So it's going to be
2 teams that it's like, do we restart?
Exactly.
I mean, the Broncos can't.
Both just handed a bag to their quarterback. So it's like, what the fuck do you do? But then you're seeing C.J. Stroud do this, and it's like, Shit.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, you better pick up CJ Stroud, man. I don't even know. I was hoping I could throw a banger this Monday. I hate that they have it on Mondays. I wish that it would be like at least a Saturday night or Sunday night, but I know. Oh, well, Monday Night Football is no longer, so that's probably why. But
yeah.
I think it's still gonna be a good game to watch. I just hate people that can't win, and that's all I was thinking in my head. Like, just win the fucking game, kicker. That's it. Just win the fuck. Just have ice in your fucking veins. Have balls, bro. Have moxie, and just fucking kick that through, and just fucking stand up and just look in the sky. Like, he had no emotion afterwards. It wasn't like he was on the ground. It was nothing. He just like he just mixed the extra point like it was a regular game. Like, bitch, you just ended the season.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I know. Like, when I was a football player, like, I was never that guy. Like, I never gave a fuck. If someone fucked up in a game, it's like, I can't blame you. Like, I'm not going to blame you for a loss. But as a fan, I'm like, fuck, man. Like, fuck, dog. Like, get that W.
Especially when it's that bad of a miss. I mean, he kicked it out of the fucking stadium, bro. Like, it was not close.
He kicked it to the tunnels. He kicked it to the tunnel to the left.
Not close. I mean, it was almost like there's no way this ball wasn't tipped. I don't think it was tipped.
No.
I mean, he just fucking shanked it. Like, it was one of the worst kicks I've ever fucking seen.
It's different. It's different when, was it 2 or 3 years ago, you had the Chicago Bears versus the Eagles? It's different when it doinks. When it doinks off, you're like, fuck, are you shitting me? Like, he was that close. This is like, he kicked it, and I was like, oh.
Even if it's like just a little short, right? Or if it was tipped, or, I mean, dude, you missed it by fucking 30 yards. Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
My thing too now this scares me going forward, right? Because we're so already used to that. That's a go ahead easy score with the NFL. In the NFL, you do that to a kicker. I would say 9 out of 10 times any kicker is hitting that. What was it, 40 something?
Yeah, 46 maybe.
That's like okay. Let's move on. That's why the Chicago kick was so what the fuck, because it's like, bro, it was a fucking there that got to him. Think about it. That got to him and he barely missed. So this is where now we look at college kickers like, damn, this is the life of a college kicker. Like, they aren't pros. Like, we think they're up there, but they're not pros, man. Like, now it's like, now anytime I go into that situation, you have to be aware. Like, I've witnessed 2 heartbreaks, one on my dad's side and one on my side. My dad had to deal with the Alabama Auburn kick in which he had to take, and I watched him fucking fall on the floor, and then I had to take this on New Year's Eve. So,
it's
bad luck, man.
Absolutely crazy. Again, great weekend of college football overall, but I don't know, man. I think Georgia's probably going to take it home. But really, really fucking both great games, and I just bring on next season, I guess.
Yeah, I think too. I love to see the bowl games, and I think it was funny seeing the bowl game names. But shout out to Barstool Sports, man, for having their own Arizona Barstool game, and you know they were a part of it, dog. Like, they had their guys running on to get the kicking tees. They had news. It was pretty cool to see the Michigan game, and they had Taylor Wan, my guy, busting with the boys. You had RG3 there running off where his wife went into labor. Like, it was just chaotic going around college football this weekend. It was chaos.
It really was a great weekend.
Yeah.
It was a great fucking weekend of college football. You're right. Shout out to Barstool. They are doing things. They've always done them their own way. Yeah. It was really, really neat to see. Good game.
Huge.
Really
good game. Huge to see you have a fucking a bowl game, dog. Like, you have a bowl game. Like, Barstool bowl game is huge.
Yeah, and I think that was I think it was an overtime win. Like, it was an exciting back and forth. Like, that was perfect for them.
But all those employees at Barstool, they know how to make it fun, right? They were interviewing the guys with the crazy names. Exactly. They know how to make it fun. They had interviews throughout, so it was dope to see. I don't know if you're trying to scoot off to end this podcast early before we talk about your birds, or you want to talk about your birds.
Yeah, I got somewhere to go. I really do. I gotta go to the same place that the birds were on Sunday at 1 because they damn sure didn't show up to the link.
You gotta go to the shitter. That's what you gotta go to.
Yeah. I fucking apparently.
Wow. But hey, let's get right to the NFL, man. Saints beat the Eagles 20-10. Cowboys beat the Titans 27-13. We look at the standings of the NFC East. I had to pay one of my students $10 because I said the Giants would make the playoffs. And of course, the Giants, the Giants are, they sneak their way in. So the NFC East is up in the air right now. Now, before we get into the game, the takeaways, this is what I'm seeing in the news, right? So if the Cowboys win versus Washington and the Eagles lose against New York, we win the division.
Correct.
That to me is something I do not want.
Well, so I think I'll get your reason why in a minute, because I'm interested to hear you say that. That scares the shit out of me. It really does. We'll touch base on my feelings.
Go ahead.
But
I want to hear you. I want to hear you.
Okay. Do you want to jump in Eagles Saints?
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Shout out Chris. I'll take my beatings. He was on the podcast a few weeks ago. He's been constantly texting me like, "What are you going to do when the Eagles lose to the Saints? What are you going to do when the Eagles lose to the Giants?" And I was fucking ripping him all week. I said on this podcast, I said to him, Jalen Hurts is going to play. It's not going to fucking matter. The Saints suck. Here's my worries now. I'll just jump into this because Gardner Minshew is what Gardner Minshew is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as bad as he was on Sunday. I think he's a backup quarterback. It's what I said after the Cowboys game. I said he's a backup quarterback. There's a reason why. My worry, and what I said to you on this pod last week, what I think I was texting you all week, what I was texting Chris all week, like Jalen Hurts is going to play. He's going to play. He's going to play. The reason I was so confident is because in my mind, this was your must win. You have the Saints draft pick that you can help yourself out, be better. You can clinch this 1 seed and rest everybody for 2 weeks. And this is a team that's now getting beat up at the wrong time. We had a couple more injuries on Sunday. This was your must win. And if Jalen Hurts was, because Coach Sirianni said he was very close to playing, fuck that. No, he wasn't. I think he's more banged up than they're leading us to believe. I called it. Because Jalen Hurts is a fucking dog, and there's 0% chance that if he was close to playing, that he would allow you to sit him. There's no way.
Yeah.
And this is what you get. And the excuse is, oh, it was just the Saints. They figured they win with Gardner Minshew. Like, what do I say every fucking week on this podcast? Every week. It's hard to win in the NFL. Anything can happen any given Sunday. There are no gimmies. This is a Saints team that was going into Sunday, had a long shot, but still had a shot at a division title. Like, you weren't playing the Texans. You weren't playing the Colts. You weren't playing the Cardinals. Like, you were playing a decent enough Saints team that you can't overlook them and just say, our backup quarterback can do whatever the fuck he wants, and we'll still win this game.
And what happens, Absolutely. I always tell you, too, when you have the bullseye on your back, it's easier to play up than it is for you guys to play up against a bad team.
Exactly.
Always. Yeah.
So that scares me that I would have certainly played him. Again, I get the idea, and you can give me those bullshit excuses, but my worry is that he is more banged up because if he was that close to playing – let me ask you this. With a shoulder injury like that, what big difference is 7 days going to make to where if you say we can't play him against the Saints, but he'll be ready to go against the Giants? What difference does 7 days make? No. Now he's going to play because you cannot lose the 1 seed and go to 5. You cannot. You do not have the luxury of doing so. So that worries me. The second thing, and I'm going to pull this stat up real quick.
I told you. I said I think it's something bigger than what we're seeing when it comes to Jalen Hurts. They're hiding some things.
Yeah. And again, I don't have any doubt that he will be back this week. The Giants, whether they play their starters or not, they don't need to. I still think it's going to be a win, especially if he plays. But here's the stat that concerns me, and the thing that is almost up there with my Jalen Hurts worry is Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson got banged up against the Cowboys. And to be honest with you, as that game was getting down to the wire, again, I'm not going to pussy out. I want to beat the Cowboys. But my biggest worry there was what is going on with Lane Johnson. He needs surgery, but he's going to hold off so he can play in the playoffs. That doesn't give me any confidence at all. He's going to be banged up, and I'm praying that he'll be okay to go through this stretch run, however long it takes. But here's a stat for you. Since the Eagles drafted Lane Johnson, when he plays, they are 72, 44, and 1. When he doesn't play, they are 9-22.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's an unbelievable difference. And that is what worries me even more, especially if Jalen Hurts goes into the playoffs or goes into this game banged up. Because one wrong hit, now he's done. He's done for the year. Yeah. So there are definitely
throwing shoulder too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's not panic time yet. But again, Josh Sweat got carted off the field with a neck injury. He's one of our second best pass rushers, maybe our best pass rusher. You are dropping like flies. that's why you need this 1 seed desperately. Like you need the extra week to get a little bit healthy. Again, I think they're going to beat the Giants. Jalen Hurts needs to play. If he comes back and looks good enough, all this brushes away. Right?
Yeah.
Like this is
Very
hell
true.
week for Eagles and Eagles fans because you couldn't have looked worse. Jalen Hurts didn't play. It's still up in the air. Like he's not definitely going to play. Right? Like it hasn't been announced.
He going to play.
If he goes out and he plays well and they beat the Giants, they get the 1 seed, like this all kind of brushes through because you'll get some guys back. You'll get a little bit healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be honest with you, man. I went into that Saints game a little bit worried. And I mean, I don't know how I can be confident in anything that they're showing me right now.
I mean, at the end of the day, so I hit Tyler. Tyler sent me a message a week or so back. Dak and Minshew, and he had the greater than sign facing Minshew, right? So then I commented on that like this week, and I was like, still? He was like, I don't know. I was like, you fucking better know.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I was like, give those weapons to, not saying it's a system, but give those weapons to Dak and let's see what he can do with them. But I think that I called it. I said, yo, Jalen Hurts is more hurt than we think he is, and they're not being 100%, frank with these guys. I was very surprised. I didn't know that he wasn't playing against the Saints. I look up and I'm like, oh shit, Hurts isn't playing? What the fuck? Now that made my shit. Now you have to. It just puts unnecessary pressure going into this game that isn't needed, especially when it comes to a divisional game, because it's like now it's by all means you have to win. Now it's who knows? The Giants are the Giants. They find a way to win at times.
Yeah.
We already are down. We're playing like shit. We have all the cards stacked up against us. Let's just say Jalen Hurts' arm. He doesn't get hurt, but it just goes. And Sanders hasn't been playing his best ball right now. Like, it's a lot that's up against you guys.
And that's another fucking problem is going into this game, the Saints have one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. Like, we're not even running the ball. Like, we came out throwing. That first quarter, and again, I have these stats here, it was 3 consecutive 3-and-outs. In the first quarter, we had no rushing yards, 2 passing yards, 3 total plays in the entire quarter. 3-and-out. Had the ball for 2 minutes.
Oh, my God. That's how you lose right there.
So the Saints fucking, A, jammed it down your defense's throat, and B, you don't even have the wherewithal with your backup quarterback against a horrible rush defense to run your guys. It's so infuriating. And again, just like you said, let's just pretend Jalen Hurts is still banged up, right? But if you have the mindset of, oh, well, we can still beat the Saints, like they're not that big of a worry, I'm still going, have Jalen Hurts play.
Yeah.
Hope maybe you get a big enough lead because apparently the Saints suck that bad. Sit him in the second half, and then you have 2 weeks now to rest that shoulder. Because he did practice. Like, he was practicing at the end of the week. He was throwing, not in pads, but still. It's so frustrating. Because like you said, this now turns into a game that you need against a division rival that would love nothing more than to knock you guys down, mind you. Like, this is not going to be a fucking cakewalk here. And if you collapse, you lose those last 3 games of the season, give the division and maybe even the 1 seed to the Dallas Cowboys, you're done. You're fucking done. Because you have
to
nothing
think, too, this is a Giants team that's coming off of a crazy victory to send them into the playoffs. So this is a team that already has some moxie behind them, some hype behind them to go in and be like, to be honest with you, this is who this is Super Bowl contenders. If we could ball up against Super Bowl contenders, why not us?
Exactly. And that was a point that somebody made, like, play, because the Giants right now, I think they're firmly in their wild card spot. Like, they can't move up, they can't move down. Somebody was saying the Giants, like, if you're the Giants, play your guys, see how you stack up against your division rival who are Super Bowl contenders, who did wax you a month ago at home. Like, see how you stack up. Another thing that worries me, I get different head coach, different players since then. A few years ago, I think Doug Peterson's last week of the season, Eagles was playing in Washington. And I don't know if you remember this, it was the last year of Carson Wentz, so Jalen Hurts was playing, he was playing well. It was a close game, but they benched Jalen Hurts in the second quarter or the second half because it helped the Eagles draft pick get better and handed Washington a win, which that win gave them the division over the Giants. So you remember that now. If you're a Giants player that was a part of that team, you want to now do the same exact thing. It's just it's infuriating. I again, waiting on word on Jalen Hurts. I would think that now he has to play. This is a playoff game. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
100%. This is a playoff game for you guys. I think when you look at the Cowboys versus Washington, I think it's still going to be I'm worried too. Like, I hope I think it's gonna be a close game. The only reason I think we still beat them is because your boy is starting now, which is dumb as fuck for Washington. And I'd say you have a better shot behind Keep, but hey, you want Carson to come play? Let him come play and throw some picks to us.
My boy can help me out one last time. Wouldn't it be so NFC East that after this incredible year, the Eagles lose and the Cowboys still fucking lose? Like, neither team even wants it. Yeah.
It's just like, you fucking dickheads. I love this to the simple fact of your head coach. I fucking hate I hate your head coach more than I hate you guys. And I love to see this cockiness go out of his eyes a little bit to get some worrisome in him. Because you fucking dickhead. That's what you get for jumping in the stand. That's what you get for fucking calling it so early in the season and carrying this mossy. But hey, no matter what, this is where I am concerned. If we win the division, right? We get a first round bye, right? We go in. We are up against teams that are getting hot as fuck right now. And I'm talking spicy, bro. 49ers are getting fucking spicy, bro.
So here's the thing.
Green Bay is getting fucking spicy, bro.
So here's the thing. So you're right. Green Bay's getting spicy. I bet on them to make the playoffs 3 weeks ago at crazy odds. So I'm rooting for them this weekend.
Yeah.
If the Eagles lose, Cowboys win. Yeah. The Cowboys will need the 49ers to lose to get the 1 seed.
Okay.
So they can't just win the division and then they're like the Niners have the tiebreaker or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But either way, you would have the 1 or 2 seed, I think, because you beat the Vikings. So either way, if the Cowboys win the division, it'll be a 2 seed. And I think you might play I think at that point would be the Packers.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what A-Rod is like, please give me this picture. Give me the Cowboys again.
No. But let me ask you this now at the same time, and I know what your answer is going to be, and you know I'm a Brady guy, but these guys, like Aaron Rodgers is getting hot at the right time. You might have to see him in the first round. Or Tom Brady just threw for 400 yards to win the division. You might have to go to his house in the first round. Which one would you prefer?
A-Rod.
Yeah.
I would prefer I prefer A-Rod. Off the simple fact of not just TB, but off the simple fact that Mike Evans is looking like a fucking star. Yeah. Once TB has his guy, he's locked in with his guy. And this is the same team that we have to remember that they won a Super Bowl off of a shitty year, like a shitty dogged out year, and they found a way to win because of that guy. So that's where my concern is. A-Rod is still throwing 2 to 3 picks a game. So I'll take those odds against him rather than with Tampa Bay with Tampa Tom fucking starting to heat the fuck up. Fuck that. This is what I'm saying. Now it's like, all right, you young teams, the Cowboys, the Eagles, you guys been good all year. This is when TB, this is when A-Rod it's getting cold outside. It's time to bundle up. It's time to go get me some rings. Go get some shit in the trophy case. They know when it's time to light it up, and they can do that. So now it's like, hey, man, if you guys are the truth, play up. Again, I don't give a fuck. I see Dallas going out either way in the wild card or the first round. It is what it is. I'm cool going out that way. But in my eyes, it's like, hey, you young boys in Philly,
I know.
Put some respect on them old heads that carry some weight behind them, all right? Yeah. AJ Brown, can you really step up in these big-time games, man? Sanders, are you ready to play? Are you going to fumble twice again in a big-time game? Like, it's time to put your money where your mouth is. Don't just be great during the season. This is it, too. Your offensive line, this is your year for offensive line. Kelsey, this is definitely his last year. This old fucking, I don't know how he's still playing amazing.
Who knows, man? If
you guys win again, he might come back. He's out of here. He's out of there. I'm surprised he plays so well, man. As an offensive lineman who was a center, seeing his leadership and the way he plays, I'm just like, he's so fucking old and he still plays great, man. I love to see it.
Arguably the best center in the league still.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how he's doing it.
One thing that's been coming up is your MVP race. The MVP race now people are starting to turn, and it sucks, but we all know that people are always with Mahomes, but because he's so great that it just becomes a regular, that everyone's kind of starting to call for Jefferson. What are your odds on that? What do you think?
You know what my fucking take is, because I just watched a 13-1 team go 0-2 without the true MVP. Yeah. Like, I think I texted you that. You cannot watch that Eagles game on Sunday and say that Jalen Hurts is not the MVP of the league. There's no fucking way, right? Yeah. And this is what Micah Parsons said. This is what that guy Chris Sims said, who I think I sent you the video of him just getting so pissed that he was wrong like he always is. I think he was an NFL quarterback for a little bit, and now he's just a media guy. But
wait, what's his name?
Chris Sims.
Chris
His brother
played for the Giants?
That was his brother. I mean, they might have both, but his brother was the
Giants quarterback?
Yeah.
The
one that you probably know.
Yeah.
The one that we both know.
Yeah. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I just know you hate him.
Well, yeah, and again, he's one of those guys that just has these crazy takes that are never right. And I think he just got so butthurt.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Whatever show he was on, just dropping F-bombs left and right. Like, he didn't even know how to handle himself.
Fuck ESPN.
This is what Micah Parsons said, like, oh, it's just the system. The Eagles are that good. Fucking no, there's no chance that Jalen Hurts is only putting up 10 against the Saints. Mm-hmm. There's no way. So you know where my MVP vote lies, and it's unfortunate that we had to have Hurts get injured to see it. But all the talk was, like, I think we even said, like, Jalen Hurts' main thing was, oh, the Eagles are good. And they are, but they cannot win without him. Like, they are just showing it. They cannot. They are 0-2 without him. Yeah. So to go to your question, though, for the sake of the debate, as I calm down a little bit, I think Jefferson deserves a few MVP votes. You would put Jefferson over Mahomes? No. I think the MVP is a quarterback award. At the end of the day, like, Jefferson has been fucking incredible. Yeah, he is probably the best receiver in the league. But it's to me, the most valuable player on a football team should and probably always is a quarterback. So if it's going to go to someone, I guess it's fucking Mahomes. But
I don't agree with you on that one, Brody.
So my argument always is, if you take the player off the team, what are they? And again, Jefferson is phenomenal, but I don't think the Vikings would miss out as much without Jefferson than the Chiefs would without Patrick Mahomes.
You don't have that Bills win. You don't have a lot of wins without Jefferson.
The Chiefs might not be a playoff team without Patrick Mahomes.
No, I agree with you, but I'm saying, like, I think that argument is debatable. Who's throwing? I mean, you could say who's throwing the balls up, but when you look at the games and the catches and the fucking yard, the ball great. He's doing 100. I know you agree with that, but when I look at a team, who's the face of that team? Not fucking Kirk Cousins. Who's winning that team? Jefferson. Kirk Cousins is throwing that bitch up. I can throw it up to fucking Jefferson right now and him go run 100 yards on the field. You know what I mean? So and I think that's a turn we're starting to see. Like I said, we called it. The Vikings and the Giants aren't all that hyped up to be, and we just seen the Vikings go down 41-17. Embarrassed at the Packers. They get, I guess, their code now that they're not used to playing outdoors in their beautiful, nice new stadium they have there in Minnesota. So they just showed you, bro. Aaron Rodgers can't be fucked with right now.
Exactly. And if the Packers make the playoffs, you would have faced 3 playoff teams: the Eagles, the Cowboys, and now the Packers, if they make it, in which you got fucking smoked. Yeah. All 3 of those games, the Eagles, Cowboys, and Packers wiped the floor with you. Yeah. I thought it was very interesting. Did you see the cornerback for the Packers, Jair Alexander, come out and say that week 1 was a fluke? Yeah. Talk about backing it up. Jefferson had, I think, 1 catch, and he was hitting and Alexander was hitting the gritty all day long on him. I fucking loved it. Too. Yeah.
Pick 6 to the fucking crib.
Talking your shit and balling out.
I love it. I think it was funny. This is where I can sum up the Cowboys. When people hate on the Cowboys and are like, I hate that people think the Cowboys are good, and as a Cowboys fan, no, we're not that good. This is how dumb a Cowboys Nation pages I follow on Facebook that they were celebrating this post, that the Cowboys have the best record against above 500 teams. Teams that are just above 500. The Cowboys have the best winning record in the league compared to everyone else in the league. And it just shows you, like, the Cowboys aren't good. We just beat the people we're supposed to beat. We've lost 1 or 2 here and there, but we're just beating teams
under 500.
No, above 5 that are just above 500. Yeah, like just above 500. We have the best record in the league for beating teams just above 500. But it's like we're beating the sorry teams that we're supposed to beat. But when it's time to really ball, like it shows you that we're not that good. Like the Eagles, that was our best game we played all year. And look at that team that we just went up against. So
again, now, and this is interesting, and off the top of my head, and we can even move on after this, but as the Cowboys fan you are, I know you're not very high on this team, but you watch Gardner Minshew go on the road, throw for 400 yards, almost win that game after the shit show that the Eagles had, and then the next week at home have probably his worst game of his career against the Saints. Does that worry you at all? Like, our defense really is this trash?
Oh, I told you going in. With the injuries we have, we're missing both of our defensive backs. Well, we just don't have the defense at all. We in that game as well. Our starting linebacker was out, who's been playing way better than Parsons. Fuck, I'm forgetting his fucking name right now.
Van Der Esch.
Van Der Esch. He's out.
Yeah.
He was out for that game. So it's like when I look at defense, I told you, like, if our defense was the defense we've had since the beginning, yeah, I'm singing a different tune. You know what I mean? I don't think Minshew throws for that much. I don't think the game is that close. But again, we have a beat up defense. We don't have a defense right now. So I'm not worried. I just know what the case is. I'm not going to be a delusional fan that goes into it and say we're amazing. Our offense can carry us. Because honestly, the reason we've been winning all these games all these years, for at least the last 2 years, is a great defense has kept us in games for us to squeak by. Because when we put the game in Dak's hands, what does he do? He doesn't win us a game. He's not winning us a game. So that's where it lies. It lies in our defense at least scoring once or twice a game for us to win a game.
Yeah. And listen, I'm going to say this too. I remember when shout out Chris, when he was on the pod a few weeks ago, he said he was going to get 3 sacks against the Eagles. I said he wasn't going to get another sack the rest of the year. Again, Thursday night, blanked against the Titans. Nothing.
But I think I texted you actually, and I said, yo, this is showing me, though, when it comes to scheming, that when we look at the scheming of Parsons, that there are some times that where Parsons is forcing, like, throwing the ball away. And you can consider that a sack if you like, but I've seen him do that probably 4 or 5 times versus the Titans. And it's like, I want to start looking at that. And I want to start, one of the things I was going to do before this week started was go back and look at the season of Dak's picks. Because I think half those picks aren't on him, but it still is a pick, throwing still picks to picks, right? Forcing it for tip balls is still on you. But I also want to look back on Parsons. Let me look at Parsons. How many forced balls did he have? How many scramble out of the pockets did he cause to go? Because at the end of the day, they respect him as one of the top rushers in the league. But watching the first time watching the Eagles play, what's his name for number 7? Is he?
Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick. God damn, bro. Yeah. Like, he kept you guys in a fucking game. He kept you in a fucking game to have a chance. He was fucking balling his ass off. How many sacks did he have that game? 3 or 4?
Yeah, I think he had 3. He has like 16 on the year.
That's the defensive player of the year in my eyes.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with you. But Philly gets no love. You know that.
It's probably going to go to TJ.
It better not go to TJ. He missed half the damn season.
But they're going to big him up for the amount of sacks that he was able to achieve. It's going to go to TJ 100%. Especially with his brother retiring. It's definitely going to go to him. Hey man, anything else you want to add on to next? Okay, we have to give some predictions. Predictions for next week. So let's start off with college football. Let's say the championship game, Georgia versus TCU. What do you have? What does it look like? I'm saying Georgia wins by at least 17.
Okay. I think it's a little closer than that. I'll say Georgia. I can see like a 40-28 win. Still 2 scores. Yeah. But I think the line right now in the game is like 13.5. Again, going back to our betting. So it's a high line. I just think TCU can score enough that it will probably be a decent game for us to watch, at least in the first half. And again, I guess we can't doubt TCU anymore, right? After New Year's Eve, like they proved something. And again, when you have a quarterback like that in college, I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar in the NFL, but you have a veteran dude that goes out and he fucking balls out. I guess you always have a chance, but I'll go like 40-28, Georgia.
One thing you have to keep mentioning, bro, is that they have an amazing offensive line, like an amazing offensive line. So TCU in regards to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
What about the the Cowboys and also the Eagles game?
I don't know what it'll be. I think both the Eagles and Cowboys will win, though. I think both those games are at 4:25, if I'm not mistaken. I think the NFL wanted just to have, both going on at the same time, just to, make sure whoever wins, wins the division, or if the Eagles lose, whatever the case is. I think the Eagles win. I do think Jalen Hurts will play. I think he's going to come with something to prove, man. Again, we talked about what he looks like some of the looks on the sidelines. I don't know if you saw, but there's a video going to him, like him chewing gum, rolling his eyes, like he's fucking looking at Gardner Minshew like, you are ruining this season that
I saw that.
I think if he plays, he's going to ball out. I still think the Giants. It's tough. I think if they do play their starters, it won't be the whole game. It might just be a feel. I haven't seen anything either way, but you have to believe like next week is playoffs, and you don't want to risk a Saquon Barkley injury. You don't want to risk a Daniel Jones. Like, you know, I get the fact of like you want to go toe to toe with these guys, but I think as a coach, man, like I would maybe play it safe, get my guys some reps. But at the end of the day, like next week is what's important. It's not the Eagles. So I do think both the teams win. Eagles get the 1 seed, but of course they made us sweat it out.
I think that the Cowboys game is a lot closer than what we look at. I wonder who plays who first. Like, do the Eagles play first or do the Cowboys play first?
No, it's the exact same time. They both kick off at 4:30. Yeah.
That's what would change if one plays before the other. It's like you got to play your starters. If not, if the Eagles win,
exactly,
like Dak and take Dak out, take Pollard out because Pollard's a little injured right now as well.
So
Pollard
it looks like
last week.
Honestly, it looks like a lot of like the 1 o'clock games are just don't even bother turning your TV on. If you're a football fan, go outside, like enjoy the weather. There's not a lot of important games. It seems like all the playoff implication games, for the most part, are that 4:25.
Okay,
right. So you have the Niners play. The Seahawks need to win. Cowboys, Eagles, 4:25, and then the Sunday night game is the Packers. If they win, they're in.
Okay.
So yeah, both they do it on purpose, right? They want everybody going hard at all times. So
yeah, for sure. We play Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday,
right? Okay, cool. Hey man, I'm excited for this week. We definitely should do some again. I hope you guys enjoyed the last week episode where we did the little recordings live and in the game. This week we should do another one because this would be like checking in. Yo, how's your game looking? How you guys looking? Yeah. Where's it at? What are we thinking? But I'm excited. I'm excited to see at least one more. We have one more college football game. College football season's over. NFL is going to be heating up. So I don't know what the fuck this sports segment is about to go down from here on out.
We got to get some ball going. But if the Eagles do lose and the Cowboys win on Sunday, I think I'm going to call out sick next week. So okay. I'm feeling a little scratch in my throat.
It's already coming.
It's already coming.
Good. Hey guys, check out In Those We Trust podcast on all your platforms. Go subscribe. Check out the newest episode with Javon that had just been posted. Check out anything previous and get ready for some great content to come, guys. Appreciate you guys. Follow us on Instagram at WeTrust_podcast. Follow Liam on the Instagram at
Liam Stokes 11.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Thanks, Lee.